Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. So, I got a few short clips today, and then we're going to go back in time a little bit. It'll be fun for some of us, not for all of us. All right, we're going to start with Okay, so we have Judge Fleischer in his courtroom. I don't know what floor this other judge is. Same building as Judge Fleischer. Don't know the name of this judge. I don't know. But she tries so hard. And sometimes you just, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do with some people. And, the inmate got what she wanted.
I'll go ahead and set a bond. Okay, so we'll just roll to tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Can you say please? Attention, just one moment.
Good morning, ma'am. What's your name?
Fleischer, my home too.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And this is the TRAS I was supposed to be reading.
It's gonna be a fee for 2 T's.
Oh, she's not gonna do the
No mess.
okay, you don't want to go to treatment? Why?
I'm trying to take my punishment, that's sure.
Well, sometimes punishment looks like rehabilitation. And typically when people go to TDC, it's because specifically for punishment. That's what prison is for, okay? But when people have a substance abuse problem or a problem with alcohol, what I like to see is people who want to rehabilitate. What that means is that you're placed on community supervision, or what we would think of as probation, and you're given programming and rehabilitation such as outpatient treatment or inpatient treatment so that you can actually come out better than when you started. Because when you go to prison, it's just punishment. But when you are placed on supervision, you can participate in programs like DDRP to help with your mental health as well as to assist with your alcohol issue. And it sounds like you have a big problem with you consuming alcohol. And what else was she charged with?
Endangering a child.
Endangering a child. So, you'll be out of TDC in a few months. What's going to be different?
My welding. Cause I was really going for that.
You're what?
My welding.
She's going to pick up a welding trade.
Oh.
Well, I just got hit off. So I apologize.
Why don't you want to go to DDRP? You have significant mental health issues as well as substance abuse problems. So why don't you want to go to DDRP?
I don't think that's gonna be up my alley at this moment.
You've never been. How would you know?
I've been to the hoop.
It's very different than who?
I'm starting over, man. Sorry, I apologize. I do apologize. Once I get out of the DLP, I won't be able to afford the fees of the scram and all that extra stuff.
The court will waive the fees. The court will take care of the scram. My concern is that you're getting help. Okay, you don't need to focus on fees. You need to focus on getting help. You have a big problem with alcohol. And if you don't actually get this addressed, you'll be right back here for your 4th DWI. Or you still want to go to prison?
Yes, ma'am. I'll take that to you.
I don't think that's the best fit for you. Now you're going to be a convicted. Does she have any other felonies? Okay, now you're going to be a convicted felon who's been to TDC at least once. You don't want to be a person who can live without alcohol, I don't understand why you would want to go to prison. But why? As a convicted felon, man, there are certain implications that comes with. So people don't want to hire you, okay, if you wanted to get a job. There are certain places that you can't live. Sometimes you're not even eligible to vote if you're still on parole. Why do you want those implications to follow you? Why wouldn't you want to be placed on community supervision to actually get help?
I really want to fill on community supervision.
Okay.
Other than parole.
Well, the only way that you would fail on community supervision is if you didn't take it seriously. Do you want to get treatment? You don't want to get treatment. Okay. And how many children do you have?
I have 3. Well, 4, but 1 son.
So do you want your children to see you as somebody who's drunk all the time? Okay. So what is going to be different for your family? You don't want your children to have a sober mom? Okay.
I'm sorry.
You don't want your children to see you in your best mental state? Okay. So prison is not going to give you any of those resources. You're telling me you still rather go to prison?
I'll seek help when I get out.
Where? You haven't sought help before. Where are you going to seek help at?
I was with mental health IDD at a point in time. I only got released from there because I got on my husband's insurance.
What's the difference between seeking help now as opposed to seeking help when you get out of prison? You're not telling me.
Because the time I work with my kids would give me some structure. But I don't believe DRP is a fit for me.
You've never been. So you were telling me you'd rather be a convicted felon, go to TDC, than participate in the DDRP program where you can get both mental health treatment and after they even help you with housing. You can get mental health treatment, you can get substance abuse treatment, you can have the resources within your wheelhouse so that you know how to respond so that you're not turning to alcohol and drugs when you get upset or overwhelmed. You're telling me you still think prison is the best option?
This situation, that's not. I apologize.
You don't have to apologize, but I'm having a hard time reconciling with somebody when the court is giving you an option. I'm telling you I'm going to waive the fees. I'm telling you I'm going to pay for the scram. And you're still telling me you want to go to prison. I'm having a hard time reconciling with that. Okay. And Mr. Adams, I imagine you've spoken with your client about the consequences of pleading guilty.
I have, Your Honor, and it was the same response. She's weighed the 2 options. I did initially tell her that Your Honor has concerns about placing her on
based off of the statement she made.
Correct. And I talked to her about that and talked to her about how her life would look, prison versus the treatment. There was a concern about the wait time for DDRP plus the time at DDRP and not getting essentially credit for that. And so she's concerned about doing time and then doing more time and then being on probation where she would still have the conditions of the court. And she expressed to me that after speaking with some other individuals, she would like to do the TDC.
And who are you talking to? People in jail?
And my father.
So you're just trying to do the quickest option. That's what I'm hearing. So what looks good right now is not always good down the road. Okay. So, and typically people talk to people who are in jail, and I'm not saying that you can't get sound advice in jail, but what I am saying is that they're in the same situation as you because of something. So clearly have not made at least some good decision at some point. Okay. So I wouldn't rely on those people. I will rely on what your attorney is telling you. And just because you want to do the quicker option right now doesn't mean it's going to be good for you in the long run. That's why I was telling you about the implications of being a convicted felon. And I know you're probably tired of being in jail, but I want you to think long term. And long term, in about 3 or 4 years, which you'll be as somebody who is sober, which you'll be as somebody who has a clear head, you'll be somebody who can take care of your children and provide for your children instead of just a convicted felon. And you still want to go to prison. Okay. Alrighty, Miss Hamilton, you've been charged with the 3rd-degree felony of DWI, third or more. Is this a true third, Charlie?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. You've been charged with DWI, third or more. The range of punishment is 2 to 10 years and a fine not to exceed $10,000. How do you plead to DWI third or more, guilty or not guilty? Are you pleading guilty, ma'am, because you are guilty and for no other reason? Has anyone promised you anything other than this plea bargain agreement to cause you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Has Mr. Adams gone over all of this plea paperwork with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And has he answered all of your questions? Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you also understand that you are waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And you still wish to move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
You believe your client is competent, Mr. Adams?
I do, Your Honor. State on stage one? No objection.
Are you an American citizen, Ms. Hamilton?
Yes, ma'am.
I will accept your plea of guilty and sentence you to 2 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections, and I'll give you credit for the time you served. Best of luck to you, ma'am.
Follow the motion on the danger. Your Honor, for dismissal.
All right, the state's dismissing your other case.
That judge, I wish I could see that judge. She tried so hard, but it just didn't work. Hi, HRH. All right, guys, listen. Please, please, can you just go into chat in the comments after this video is over and when you watch this video, if you're not live, and just wish HRH a happy birthday, please, 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 please. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to someone who wants probation.
I mean, he follows us everywhere, so I don't even want him to know that I'm here.
All right. Well, we can talk a little more about that later. I've just been handed a written plea agreement. Now, Ms. Lujan is on probation in this case for a class 2 misdemeanor, resisting arrest. This is, let's see, how do I say this? This is not to be harsh or mean or disrespectful to Ms. Lujan in any way, but I was somewhat hesitant to put her on probation. I think it was back in March in this case, because she's either, it appears to me like she's either unwilling or unable, probably unable to really comply with probation. And I'm now seeing that the parties want to put her back on probation again. And right now, I don't think she can comply with probation. I think this is exercise in futility. But let me hear from the attorneys, and I know we're sort of jumping ahead to sentencing, but
That's my middle name.
why do we want to put her back on probation again when I think it's just going to cause more problems and issues really for her? And she'll be back in front of me again in a few months. Why are we doing this? Why do we think she'll succeed this time? I don't care who goes first.
Well, I think it's kind of twofold, Your Honor. She's heavily involved with Amos and Grand Junction. That's where she's staying. She's got coaches there. They're helping her get to rehab. They're helping her get the treatment that she needs for her physical issues. I think that one, I think the other option, as Ms. Lujan probably knows, is to close this out with jail, and her condition makes that very difficult right now for her. She's in a lot of pain. She isn't actually, before, of course, that she was arrested here, she had scheduled an appointment at the hospital that's for tomorrow. So as she mentioned earlier, she was run over. That was May 17th. She was hit by a car. Both legs were broken. That, on the one hand, makes jail very difficult, but on the other hand, has her very heavily involved with Amos up in Grand Junction, because she's reliant on them at this point to kind of get her shuttled around to her medical appointments, get her treatment, also getting her involved with rehab. So I think because she's reliant on them because of her physical issues, that also is going to make it easier for her to be involved with probation, considering she's got these coaches that have been very helpful for her actually over the past couple months. And I think she can speak more to what these coaches have been able to do for her. But that's the situation she is in right now. It's certainly different than what she was in, the situation she was in just a few months ago. This accident that happened, although from what I'm told, I think she has doubts that it was an accident necessarily. But anyway, she's suffering significantly physically, and that has kind of led to this heavy involvement with Amos.
So
Thank you,
is her
Casey.
involvement
Thank
with
you.
Amos, is that dependent upon her being on probation? I mean, if we were to just close this out with jail and let her go, does that impact her involvement with Amos?
No, I don't think that she needs to be on probation in order to be involved with Amos, right? Like, yeah, she's doing that separately, right? So, so I don't think that would negatively impact her.
No, I'm doing that on my own, sir.
Okay.
I found out.
And she wants to be in Grand Junction. She, as I understand it, she wants to cut ties with Delta County.
Yes,
And
very much so.
putting her back on probation in Delta County seems to keep those ties in place. But Mr. Allen, what are the people thinking here?
Your Honor, we do have doubts that Miss Lujan would be successful again on
Then why'd
probation.
you offer the offer? Why did you make the offer?
we
to put her
are-
back on probation.
However, Your Honor, we are willing to give Miss Lujan a chance, and she can hopefully get her probation transferred to Grand Junction. I think that would be beneficial for her in succeeding in the future here. However, as Mr. Rose stated, it does seem that the jail closeout would close out her case, at least here in Delta. But there are some some difficulties with that, as well as it seems that part of her non-compliance here is based upon an injury and being in Grand Junction. And so I'm hopeful that, and this is her first revocation. I believe it was just a couple months ago that she was first put on probation to begin with Mr. Hirsch. And so we are willing to give her a chance to correct it. And that was also the probation officer's recommendation as well. And so that's kind of the idea behind it, is give her a chance to succeed and comply with probation, and give her a second chance.
All right. I understand the thinking and the parties' agreement. And again, this is not to be mean or harsh to Ms. Lujan. I just think that she has really an inability to comply with probation based upon her life challenges, all of her life challenges, mental, emotional, physical, geographical, homelessness, financial. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not trying to be harsh or mean, but I think there's a 9 out of 10 chance that she's not going to be able to succeed on probation here in Delta. So I'm not accepting this because, Ms. Lujan, I'm not accepting this agreement because, well, for that reason. Probation is a privilege, and I gave her one chance, and she didn't even show up. And in order for me to give somebody a sentence to probation, the privilege to be on probation, I need to be able to find that they're likely to succeed. I can't find that here. So I'm not putting Ms. Lujan back on probation. So the parties can either renegotiate some other legal sentence having to do with fines, useful public service, jail, one or more of those, or she can plead open, or we can have a contested hearing. But I'm not accepting the plea agreement. Is there any reason you want it back? I mean, what? And Mr. Rowe, if you want a few minutes, I can give you some time.
I would ask for that, yes.
All right, I'll go ahead and leave the courtroom. Let the clerk know when you're ready. recalling the case because we took a break for the parties to talk and negotiate. I'm told that there's a
Thank you,
new
HRH. Thank you.
disposition, new agreement. Anybody can tell me about that?
There is, Your Honor. We don't have paperwork, but we can make that happen if the court requires it. But what it is essentially is a 30-day jail cap with useful public service and fines open to the court. And there's 18 days of credit.
18 days?
Yes.
Okay. That's
Since-
fine. Why was there 6 on the plea agreement?
Well, since that was a revoke and reinstate, we were just
I see.
counting more the post conviction.
Understood. Thanks. Is that all correct, Mr. Allen?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Let's go ahead, then we can proceed.
That's the judge right there, Bo Zerip. It's Judge Zerip or Bo, as I call him.
Ms. Lujan, as I understand it, there's a verbal agreement between you and your attorney and the district attorney. And as I understand it, you've agreed that you will admit violating your probation sentence. And if you do that, your probation will be revoked and you'll be resentenced to jail. It could be as much as up to 30 days in jail. I'm told you have 18 days of pre-sentence confinement credit already served. I could also impose use of public service, and I could impose a fine of up to, this is a class 2 misdemeanor, up to $750 if I wanted to. The other fees and costs would remain in effect. That's how I can understand the agreement. And one of the benefits to you, maybe the biggest benefit, is that if we go through with this today, then it's done and you don't have to come back to Delta County on this case. You won't be on probation. That's how I understand it. Is that correct? Is that how you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're prepared to do at this time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk about the rights you'd be waiving today if you were to plead guilty. In this case, you do have the right to deny that you violated your probation and to make the district attorney prove it at a hearing in front of me, in front of a judge. And they would have to prove that you violated your probation sentence by preponderance of the evidence. Now, at that hearing, you would have the right to be represented by an attorney of your own choosing. If you could not afford an attorney, I would appoint an attorney to represent you at no cost to you. If you qualified financially, and you automatically qualify as long as you're in custody, and Mr. Rowe has been appointed for that purpose. And so if you wanted to have a contested hearing in this case, Mr. Rowe or someone from his office could continue to represent you at that hearing. And at that hearing, you and your attorney would have the right to confront and cross-examine the prosecution witnesses. You would also have the right to call witnesses and present evidence on your own behalf, and you could testify if you wanted to. Now, a probation violation hearing is different from an original criminal jury trial in 3 ways. 1, the probation hearing is just to a judge, not to a jury. And secondly, the people would not have to prove that you violated your probation beyond a reasonable doubt. They only have to prove it by preponderance of the evidence, which is a much lower evidentiary standard. And 3, at a jury trial, you have the right to remain silent. But at a probation violation hearing, you could be called on to testify. So it's different in those ways. But you still have that right to deny that you violated your probation and make them prove it at a hearing. Do you understand all of that? All of that? Okay. And is it your own voluntary decision to waive those rights and admit violating your probation sentence today?
Yes, sir.
Is your decision to admit violating your probation sentence the result of any force or threats?
No, sir.
Anybody made you any promises that I don't know about?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence today of any alcohol, drugs, or medications that could impair your ability to understand what's going on or make a good decision?
No, sir.
All right. Then I'll ask you in this case, do you admit or deny that you violated your probation sentence by essentially not showing up to the probation department as directed by the court? You never really got started at all, it says in the complaint. So do you
I
admit?
went, but not to this one.
Okay. But it says that you did not report to the probation department as directed. That's what it says on the complaint.
This one, yeah, I didn't.
Do you admit or deny that?
I admit I didn't.
Okay. Based upon that admission, then I do find that Ms. Lujan has violated her probation sentence in this case, and therefore her probation sentence is revoked and terminated. Any bond that's set, there's no bond, but all bond conditions are vacated. The protection order will be vacated at the end of the jail sentence. All future court dates are vacated, and we can proceed to sentencing. Mr. Rowe, what would you like to say?
We'd ask the court to
He's
imposed
pooping.
18 days of jail and with any remaining punishment being in the form of useful public service and fines. Ms. Lujan is clear that any useful public service that's not done can result in a day for hour spent in jail. And we'd emphasize her physical condition here. She spent about the last week in custody, and which has been especially difficult for her, given the fact that it was May 17th that both of her legs were broken. So she's very anxious to get back to Amos, which, as I mentioned earlier, has really been helping her out lately. She's heavily involved there in Grand Junction with Amos, and she's got a couple of coaches there that are helping her out with as far as getting to her medical appointments and giving her counseling. She thinks that going forward, they can help her get into rehab as well. It's just been very beneficial being involved with Amos for her. But also, she's concerned about getting to her future appointments. She has one lined up for tomorrow. She had one lined up for tomorrow, and they can help her get to that appointment. That's what's been going on over the past couple of months. I would argue that, I understand the court had concerns from the very beginning about Ms. Lujan completing probation, and while she didn't get started, this accident on May 17th was really was taken over her life over the past couple of months. So I think, given the fact that we're looking at,
All right, now it's her turn to talk, guys.
a second-class misdemeanor, which of course can carry up to 120 days maximum jail sentence. I don't think the maximum is necessary here. And in fact, given her condition and what's going on in her life, I'd argue for the 18 days and more useful public service, Your Honor. And I think, I know Ms. Lujan will have the opportunity to speak, but she may have more to say.
All right, Mr. Allen, what would you like to say?
Your Honor, given where we are in this case, the people would be requesting the court to sentence Ms. Lujan to the 30 days and then close out her case with no additional useful public service or additional fines that have already been imposed. In this case, kind of what originally happened, law enforcement contacted Ms. Lujan at the park. They ran her name and she had a warrant out for her arrest, I think out of Montrose. Upon contact or trying to contact Ms. Lujan, she took off on a bicycle, and eventually they were able to catch up to her. And then they arrested her on that warrant. And upon search of, initially law enforcement didn't find anything. Then while they were booking her into the jail, they went through her wallet and found a little baggie of methamphetamine. However, that baggie was never sent for testing. So we never got a confirmation on that, which is why the disposition of this case was the resisting, I believe. And so, or obstruction, I can't remember which one she pled to. And so for those reasons, we do think that this case is rather mitigated, which is why we were offering the 30 days and asked the court to impose those with the 18 days credit and close it out with no additional review hearing or useful public service or anything of the such.
You. All right, Ms. Lujan, you have the right to make a statement if you wish before I impose the new sentence in your case. You may tell me anything at all that you'd like about what originally happened in this case, or about your current situation yourself, or what you think I should do here. What would you like to say?
All I like to say is I'm sorry for all this misunderstanding that I've been doing and going through. And yes, I did get run over, and that's no reason for me to make any excuse for what happened, because it's nobody's fault but my own for walking on the wrong side of the road or whatever happened. I am suing the guy. I do have surgery tomorrow on my ligaments because I had 3 surgeries already. This will be my 4th at St. Mary's. The reason I'm here is because I got arrested in Grand Junction, Colorado. And it is kind of hard for me to be sleeping on the floor in the cell because it's very dirty and I have open wounds. I am scared that if my wounds get dirty or anything, I don't want to lose my leg. This is the worst leg. This one, it's already getting healed. So they have the boot on it. But the one on my left, it still has open wounds and it has trademarks from the tire. When the tire hit my leg twice, my ankle came off of my leg. They had to sew it together. And that's why I don't want to lose my leg. And I'm sorry for all the inconvenience. I won't come back to Delta ever. I just need my legs to be healed so I can work and do what I have to do. And this will never happen again. I just don't want to be in Delta. I'm scared of this guy. He lives here and I won't be here ever again. That's all I have to say, and I'm sorry. I started out right, and God showed me to do the right thing, and this is it, and I'm sorry, and it won't happen again.
All right, thank you. Well, I'll accept the agreement of the parties, and I did review the affidavit, the arrest warrant affidavit. And the crime here for which I'm sentencing Ms. Lujan is resisting arrest. I've read the affidavit and I would consider this I mean, there's certainly evidence of resisting arrest, but it's not a aggravated, in my opinion, it doesn't appear to be an aggravated resisting arrest situation. I do find that the plea agreement's appropriate and I'm going to grant the defense request. So Ms. Lujan is sentenced to 18 days of jail, 18 days of pre-sentence confinement credit, no fine, no use of public service. The other fees and costs remain in effect. I had
think that
previously
is
waived the
mercy.
probation supervision fees. And so that'll be the new sentence in the case. So the protection order is now vacated. No restitution. Anything else, Mr. Allen?
No, Your
Mr. Rowe?
No, Your Honor.
So Ms. Lujan, you should be released later today. We'll have a sentence order here for you in just a minute for you to sign and have a copy, okay?
Thank you, Judge Durham.
All right, I wish you, yep. Correct, no use of public service. All right, I hope everything goes well with your legs. I wish you all the best.
It will, and you will also see Amos is coming to this town soon,
Good. Thank you.
and you'll see it. It's a great shelter.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Sentence order.
No.
So the first lady don't want probation. This lady wanted probation, but it was good that they didn't put her on probation because, you know, she wouldn't have got 18 days. She would have gotten all of it, all of her sentence, whatever it is. I don't think I saw that one, and I think I know what you're talking about that one lady. I didn't see it, so I don't, and I didn't play it on my channel either because I heard it was just too sad. However, all right, hold on, no, we're not going there yet. No, I'm not doing that yet. Next, what we have is Miss Melina. You guys know her. You know her. I didn't post all of the old videos we have of her. This is just a quick update case. She's the one in Boulder, Colorado. Chris. Hi, Chris. You remember her? She's a real piece of work. She really is. We do have an update. She does nothing crazy here. It's just a quick 4-minute update on what Miss Melina did. I think it was like a couple days ago. Here we go. If you don't remember her, if I have time, I'll post the links because you can just see her progressing through jail and out of jail, and she has a whole bunch of open cases, a whole bunch.
So Greg is that's not the judge. Greg is a court supervisor. What's that?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a judge. For some reason,
They
if I
haven't
can change
understood
it.
us.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Ms. Molina.
That's better. Good morning, sir. So, Your Honor,
Hi,
obviously,
Roxanne.
Ms. Molina is here, and I just had a really good conversation with her.
Good.
So she's got, I believe, 13 open cases. And, I've expressed to Ms. Molina that, at a baseline level, like her coming here and basically checking in with us and saying hello and having a productive conversation is what we can do to keep her from getting warrants. So we'd like to just basically record the fact that she's here today, and then also, can we move put court attendance on her oldest case as eligible for being dismissed today, so that we can start whittling these down. She's got 13 open cases. She did express interest in meeting with our Naropa counselor, but she's not here yet. So I don't know if we're going to be able to connect Miss Molina with Ilva this morning. But if she does, then I told Miss Molina that she could get 2 of her other cases dismissed. So that still might happen. And we wouldn't intend on coming back on camera. Basically, I'll just tell the navigators to put in a completion, and we'll file motions to dismiss. We can connect her with Ilva this morning.
No, Micah. So in Colorado, Boulder, they have court. Okay, I think it's right outside the courthouse or outside the library. They have every Wednesday or something like that. They set up all these stands where people can come, get food, get clothes, find a job, get health care, get their driver's license or their ID. Then they also have court. So if you have a case and you're out in the wind and you didn't go to court or whatever like that, you can just pop into this court, get your warrants lifted, and that's the prosecutor right there. That's Christopher. The judge, I don't know if we'll see the judge in this video. I think we will. He's he's in the courthouse. They're doing this over Zoom. But people in Boulder, if they need anything, they can just come here on these days and get what they need and take care of their court cases so they don't get picked up on a warrant and things like that. It's really freaking cool, actually.
But that's kind of the status of Miss Molina's cases.
Okay, so will we just continue the other cases, and to what date should we continue them, Chris? Have you given some thought to that?
That's the judge.
It seems like Miss Molina's kind of in a routine of checking in here every week, and so we'd love to see her again next week. Is that okay?
All right, so let me just make clear the case number. I don't know that I see anything that's been added up to our docket yet. So that's the issue. I want to make sure I make a good, clear record. But Miss Molina, I'm pleased that you've come today and checked in. I would rather not issue warrants for you. I know how much you detest being in jail, and so let's try to keep you out of jail if we can. So you doing this, I know it seems like a little bit of effort, but you're making that good effort, and that's much better than being in custody. So let me just check with Greg. Did we get Miss Molina's cases loaded up, Greg? Do I just need to reset my docket?
I will get them. Just 1 second, sir. I'm sorry.
I just need the oldest case right now, and then the others I can just do an ROA for those to continue those over. So if you can find the oldest case and upload that, that's the one that'll be dismissed, and then one other case that I can just enter an ROA to continue that to next week.
So case number 2024-2917 is the oldest. And then 2024-3061.
24-3061. Okay, so what we'll do in case number 24-2917, that case is going to be dismissed today, Ms. Molina, just for taking the time to meet with Chris and showing up. And that keeps you from having warrants being issued and gets that case dismissed.
It was a secret,
We're going
Donald.
to continue case number 24-3061 and all other cases that are open to next Thursday. So as long as you come next Thursday, then there won't be warrants issued, and hopefully you and Mr. Reynolds can continue to work. If you're able to meet with Naropa today, if they are available, and you can meet with Ilva, I would think that would be terrific, and that'll earn another charge to getting dismissed for you. So those are all positives. So just hope that you can do those things. Does that make sense? Okay, great. All right, well, that's all we need from Ms. Molina. I'll go ahead and take care of the data here on the backside, but you're free to go about your business.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye. Okay.
I guess maybe I should probably like make a playlist for her, Miss Molina, because she has like, I think she's up to like 6 videos now. This one was nothing. She gets wild and crazy, guys. Maybe I should go back, find the videos, and make a little playlist for her. Okay. Now, what we're going to do for the rest of the stream is go back in time, guys. So I'm going to show the very first clip, not the preview clip where we can't see him, but the very first clip we have, the very first docket we have with Judge Fleischer. First time we all saw him. I'm going to play that again today. And remember, this is when these people had no idea that anybody cared about their little tiny little courtroom in Harris County. And they thought 1 or 2 people were watching, family or whatever. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back in time to here. Now, just so you know, this was before I had a camera. So the only way I could alter a video back then was to talk. Hopefully I don't talk too much. I don't know. I've never watched this clip. I hate watching my own clips. I hate them. So yeah, this is the first time I fell in love with Harris County. All right, he's not muted. And look, we can pretend Fozzie's here. Hi, Fozzie. Should I, just kidding. Just kidding, Fozzie. Calm down. There he is. There's our judge. Is that Tracy? There's Pavel. And that is, oh my gosh, Victoria just told me her name yesterday. You guys were all there. What's her name? Oh, come on, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, here we go. And of course, we cannot hear the judge. Elsie left. That's not Elsie.
Are you Ignacio Barrera?
Yes.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything
Not
you say can
Melissa.
or will be used against you, sir.
On March 24th, 2024, officer witnessed a blue Nissan driven by defendant disregarded a 4-way stop sign located in Harris County, Texas. Officer conducted a traffic stop and made contact with defendant. Officer observed defendant to have slurred speech, glossy, watery eyes, and a strong smell of odor of alcohol. Defendant admitted to consuming 4 blended whiskeys. Officer conducted SFSTs, 6 out of 6 each GN, 4 out of 8 walk and turn, 2 out of 4 one-leg stand. Officer read DIC 24. Defendant gave breath sample. Results were 0.124 and 0.125.
Mr. Barrera, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. If you like that license, I would get on it quick. Otherwise, you risk having a suspended license. I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We're going to have you sign a reset. After that, you'll get release of your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir.
Right this way. Page 7, Della Garza. Come
That
on
was
up.
nice and normal, nice and easy, but it gets better.
Is it Othan De La Garza? Mr. De La Garza, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you, sir.
On March 24th, 2023, officers responded to Houston Map Company in Harris County, Texas. Officer arrived on scene and met with complaining witness. Complaining witness stated that his wife owns a food truck and he noticed that one of his generators was missing. Complaining witness's employees informed him that 2 males stole one of the generators. Defendant was caught on the handlebars camera taking the generator. Complaining witness asked his wife to drive around and look for the generator. Complaining witness's wife saw the defendant and defendant asked if they were looking for the generator. Complaining witness's wife told complaining witness what had happened. Defendant went inside the trailer to grab the generator and came back out with it. Complaining witness states that the generator is worth $1,100.
Okay. He's on camera doing it. Okay. Mr. De La Garza, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witnesses in this case and not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you do, I will revoke your bond. I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, sir. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. What do you do for a living?
Mechanic.
Okay. We're going to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We're going to have you sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. Don't pick up any new cases. Don't act like a fool in the free world or else I'm going to take it away from you.
Okay.
Please.
Right this way. Page 15, Hernandez. Come on up.
Okay, so you got it, huh? Hi, Herman. Page 15, I think she said, right? Is this Priscilla Hernandez?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Hernandez. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
On March 23rd, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officer was dispatched to an intersection regarding a traffic hazard. Complaining witness stated that a woman was asleep in a light gray Nissan. Officer arrived on scene and observed the vehicle stationary in a moving lane of traffic. Officer observed vehicle dashboard showing the vehicle to be in drive. Defendant had her foot on the brake. Officer observed defendant to not be responding to commands. After getting the door open, officer woke up defendant and smelled an odor of alcoholic beverage and observed glassy eyes. Officer asked defendant if she had been drinking, and she stated that she had and that she was a bartender. Defendant stated she drank Tito's vodka and was mixing drinks. Officer moved defendant to a parking lot and conducted SFSTs, 6S6 HGN, 5L8 walk and turn, and she did not participate in the one leg stand. Officer took defendant to JPC and read the DIC 24. Defendant took a breathalyzer test. It was 0.245 and 0.238.
Oh, Mr. Hernandez.
No, I
Yeah.
understand your comment.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or
Ramona.
unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or dope, you will go to jail. Do you understand, ma'am? You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
You may continue to drive. Just be careful. If it does become suspended, you may not drive. You have a lawyer. Good job. Because you have one, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Herman. He will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he comes back and tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. No drugs, no alcohol. Stay in contact with Herman and you're good with us. All right? Please.
Yeah, we already have a court date, Judge Michie, when we leave.
Say that again?
When we leave, since we already have a court date.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's got to meet with Lacey for bond conditions, but after that, she's good.
All right, Judge, page 9, do set. Come on up. Let's break this way. Hernandez. Hernandez.
Doucette.
Jabari Doucette.
Doucette.
Okay.
Doucette, Doucett. Got it. Do you see it? Mr. Doucette, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
On March 21st, 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance in Harris County, Texas. Complaining witness stated that the defendant, her husband, was refusing to give over custody of their 6-month-old child. Police were unable to make contact with defendant. While gathering statements, officer observed defendant wearing a green hoodie and walking through the apartment complex. Officer asked him to come here. Defendant then ran. Officers lost defendant momentarily, but found him 1,000 feet away from where he evaded. Defendant was detained.
What was he doing wrong? Walking while black? No problem, cause. Mr. Doucette, be careful. You're on felony bond. You pick up a new case, it's not gonna go well.
Yes, sir.
Please take your seat in the back.
Page 9, Espinosa, Marcel.
Mr. Espinosa, you're charged with racing on a highway. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir. Okay.
On March 22nd, officer observed a gray Ford Mustang and a white Ford Mustang traveling southbound, accelerating rapidly, attempting to outpace one another. The posted speed limit was 45 miles per hour. Cars were going over 100 miles per hour, paced with officer's speedometer. Officers conducted a traffic stop. The gray Ford was ID'd as defendant. Both admitted to speeding, denied racing.
So we have the lower cause number. Does that mean we're gonna get it? Wonderful. If she catches it. Mr. Espinosa, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to take that away from you permanently?
No, sir.
Don't pick up any more racing cases, otherwise you'll be taking the Dodge Patas everywhere you go from now on. Do you understand? I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to race, participate in any street takeovers, donuts, reckless driving. If I find that you pick up another case or do something like this similar, I will take away your privilege to drive permanently away from you.
Yes, sir.
You're a fat bottom girl?
We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Can you look up to make sure that he has a license? If you guys can see it. I'm gonna have you go to Victoria. We're gonna have you sign a reset. After that, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it and then you'll be free to go. When you come back, please have a lawyer. Good.
Page 10, Robert.
Dodge Patas, that's right. That's what my mom said to me. Keep it up, you'll be taking the Dodge Patas.
He's the same though. No, he's the same as he is now.
Victoria, who is this?
Page 10, Robert.
Got it. It's EAEUB, sorry. You find it? Okay. Mr. Uber, you're charged with unlawful carrying a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
On March 23rd, 2024, officer responded to an Exxon gas station in Harris County, Texas. The call note stated that there was a Toyota selling marijuana outside of the gas station. When officers arrived, they observed a Toyota parked on an individual parking stall in front of the store. A black male exited the vehicle and walked inside the store. The male then came back out and entered the vehicle. Officer walked up to the driver and smelled the odor of marijuana. Officer asked defendant if he had any ID and if he had any drugs in the vehicle. Defendant stated that he had marijuana and that there was a Canic 9mm underneath his seat, as well as a Versa in the passenger compartment.
Mr. Uber, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons, sir. Do you understand? If you violate this condition, you'll go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. How old are you? What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a private care duty. I work in San Antonio, CDCL, Texas. Basically, I just do healthcare. I'm not even from out here.
So you live currently in San Antonio?
Yes, sir. He stopped me at a corner store.
Don't say anything. I've got DAs here. They're writing down everything you say. Did you want to
Dude, next time go to Chevron. Chevron.
apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
Nope.
Okay. Do you mind giving him an application, please? I'm gonna give you an application for this now. I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign and reset. We're gonna have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign these bond conditions, then we'll have you talk to someone here momentarily.
No drugs, no weapons.
Well, I had just
Page 11, Francis.
DeAndre Francis. Mr. Francis, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do
Chevron.
probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
On March 24th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officer was dispatched to an assault. Officer met with complaining witness. Complaining witness and defendant have been dating for 7 years now. Complaining witness and defendant got into a verbal argument. Defendant then slapped complaining witness multiple times across the face, causing pain.
Do we know if she wants to have contact with him? Do they have children together?
We haven't been in touch with the complaining witness.
Okay,
And Your Honor, the prior dismissed anthems involving the same complainant.
it's over. No more contact with this complaining witness. You understand? There's a protective order that has been issued that identifies Monet McKnight as a protected individual. I suggest you get to know that protective order, because if you violate it, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you, and you will go to jail. And I'm telling you now, I don't care. With your history and you have a prior assault against this person, I'm no contact whatsoever. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons as well. If you violate these conditions, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. And I'm telling you, you violate that protective order and violate those conditions, I can hold you in jail at 0 bond. And I will do it in a heartbeat to protect anyone in Harris County. Do you understand, Mr. Francis? What do you do for a living?
I'm at the Port of Use.
Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign and reset. After that, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go, sir.
Page 13.
He's exactly the same. People were commenting, he's theatrical for the cameras. He doesn't know that we are watching him right now. This was the very first clip. Let me see if there's viewers on here. There's not, but there might have been 2 viewers, me and somebody else, maybe his mom. I don't know. Maybe one of the defendant's mom. But this was the very, very, very first clip. This was his first clip. And he's almost exactly the same.
Go Dimes.
Go Dimes.
Dalen.
If they don't answer, just move on.
Okay, all right. All
Thank
right,
you,
page
David.
14, Hall.
Thank you.
Kieran Hall. Kieran Hall. Mr. Hall, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On October 24th, 2022, in Harris County, Texas, officer dispatched to a single vehicle accident. Officers found defendant partially ejected from the vehicle. EMS extracted defendant. Defendant admitted to drinking at a party. Blood warrant was signed and executed BAC .157.
Mr. Hall, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, sir? You are not allowed to drive, and I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me promising me that you're not going to drive. Do you understand? Do you have a license from any other states?
No, sir, mine expired yesterday. So I haven't renewed it.
Do not drive. If you drive, I'm having you sign an affidavit. You will be facing an additional contempt charge, and I can hold you in contempt, slap you with up to 180 days every time you drive. You understand? If you want to drive, go get a license and liability insurance, and then we can talk. But you're not allowed to drive until you come and get court approval from us. If you do it, you're going to be doing a lot of time in jail. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, likewise, you will go to jail, sir. What do you do for a living, Mr. Hall?
Food industry, fast food.
How much money do you make a month?
Not much, one part-time.
I'm sorry?
Not much, less than 1,500.
Who do you live with?
My mom at the moment.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir? Okay. Do you mind giving me an application, please? I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We're going to have you, well, first I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. Then you'll get to Victoria to sign a reset. Then you'll get with Lacey for your bond conditions, and then we'll have you take your seat in the jury box while we get your stuff in order. Please.
All right, Judge, page 15, Haywood. Go ahead and sign for the reset, please.
Victoria, what page?
Haywood, page
Oh,
15.
got it. Ms. Takia Haywood. Takia, ma'am, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine due to the amount. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, ma'am.
On March 22nd, 2024, officers arrived to Neiman Marcus store located in Harris County, Texas for a theft. Officer met with complaining witness, who is an asset protector investigator. Complaining witness stated that she observed defendant via surveillance approach a rack, select one blue Versace shirt, and conceal it inside of a plastic Macy's shopping bag. Complaining witness informed the other investigators of defendant. Defendant then exited the store, passing all points of sale without paying. Complaining witness stated that they followed behind defendant and that she was detained.
One shirt?
It's worth $770.
Whoa. Ms. Haywood, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now ordering you not to go back to Macy's. Do you understand? Was this in the Houston Galleria?
Who's the gallery?
I'm ordering you also not to go back to the Houston Galleria for any reason whatsoever. If you go back to the Galleria, you go to any Macy's, I will have you arrested. You will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, man. What do you do for a living?
I'm a manager at T-Mobile.
Where?
A manager at T-Mobile.
How much money do you make a month?
35.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond condition, we'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go, man. Please.
Your Honor, it's Neiman Marcus, not Macy's.
Oh, that's enough. I mean, okay, please. If you, I mean, it's the consequence of picking up a criminal case. You know what I mean? It's,
All right, the next one, Judge. Page 17, 18, Huerta Sanchez.
Hey, good morning, Luis. 42 arraignments.
All right, page 21, Lucero.
Uh-oh. Mr. D not looking happy. Ms. Lucero. Ma'am, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, ma'am.
Quiet in the court, judges have to raise his voice.
On March 25th, 2024, officer responded to an assault that just occurred in Harris County, Texas. Officer first saw defendant outside bleeding from her forehead. Defendant claimed she was defending witness one, who's a 15-year-old, and herself from staff members jumping on her. Officer spoke to complaining witness who said that she had received a call from the owner of the group home asking her to return because defendant and witness one were banging on the window and threatening staff members. Complaining witness reported defendant and witness one were outside blocking the entryway when defendant struck complaining witness with a closed fist, causing pain. Complaining witness used restraint techniques and placed her arms around defendant, which caused them to fall, causing defendant's forehead injury.
Ms. Lucero, how old are you, ma'am?
17.
Are you still living in that group home or did they kick you out? Sorry?
Another group home.
Okay. I'm going to give you a lawyer today. Okay. Are you here with anyone from that group home? Where are they in the courtroom? Okay. Do you mind going to get them, please? Hey, Victoria, just give me a second. I'm signing conditions so we can get some of them out.
Yeah, I just did a poll of who here bought a $700 shirt in their lifetime. Nobody here. Nobody has bought a $700 shirt. Is that crazy? Yes, Kelly. That's what, you know what? Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Not authorized. There you go, man, he's out of control.
That was unprofessional.
Hector.
There was Luis. Did you see Goat Luis?
Give me a second. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for coming. So I have found that there's enough evidence to go forward with her case that she's charged with assault on the other person at the group home. I'm now forbidding her to go back to that particular group home and not to have contact with this person. Where she's living now, that shouldn't be a problem, correct? Okay, I'm gonna appoint.
After speaking with her, a lot of time when you get to go,
these people look at what's on the paperwork, so she's a lot different than really what she.
Okay, I will give you guys a lawyer today. If you have any issues, just come back to us to let us know. Do you mind giving me my cards, please? I'm gonna give you my card, so if you need anything, just let me know and we can help you out. And then, let me see. No, don't worry about it. I'll just appoint in the interest. I'm just gonna appoint, so don't worry about the application. Okay, and then, so ma'am, what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you sign a reset first, and then I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. Do not pick up any new cases. Be nice to everybody. If you are not, if you pick up a new case, I'll revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. Be mindful that if you don't have anyone that's gonna post a $5,000 to $10,000 bond for you, you will be stuck in jail. That's the problem with when you don't have resources, when you don't have someone that's gonna pony this.
Walmart.
You got out of jail now
Where
because
it's
we gave you a
Walmart.
free bond. You will not get another free one. So if you go to jail for any reason, you're going to be stuck there unless someone bonds you out. All right? The only thing I'm asking you to do is don't get into any more fights and be nice to everybody. And don't pick up any new cases. That's all I'm asking you to do. All right. So we'll have you sign a reset, then we'll have you just take a seat in the jury box, ma'am. And then if you'd mind just waiting in back, and then once we get the lawyer, we'll have them talk to you guys.
Page 22, Linda.
What was your guy's name again? Huerta? Okay, let me see. We'll do it next, okay? Wait a second, no.
This is Luna.
This is Luna. After we do Luna, we'll help you. Do you speak, Miss Luna, do you speak English?
Yeah, I do.
Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, ma'am.
March 22nd, 2024, officers patrolling and observed that a vehicle was on and did not have its headlights on. Officer activated his emergency lights and siren to get vehicle on foot to conduct a welfare check on defendant. Officer approached vehicle and defendant placed the vehicle in reverse and moved backwards before coming to a stop. Officer detected an odor of alcohol in defendant's breath and found an open container of alcohol in the center console. Officer detained defendant and requested for another unit. Other officers arrived and conducted SFSTs, 2 out of 6 HDN, 6 out of 8 walk and turn, 4 out of 4 one-leg stand. Officer read DIC 24. Defendant refused to provide breath, transported to JPC, and officer obtained a warrant for blood specimen.
Miss Luna, the fact that you have an open container in the car makes it a minimum of 5 days in jail flat to any sentence that you do.
I don't buy suits, obviously. But could his suit jacket be $700? Does that sound like a regular price for those? How much does his suit cost, guys? Somebody.
You understand? I'm finding that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or dope, you will go to jail. You have a valid Texas driver license. You run a license, please. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you'll meet with Lacey for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. Do not pick up any new cases, otherwise I will put you in jail, man. Please.
Where's that?
Let me express my disappointment with you, Mr. Huerta. You now picked up another DWI while you're on bond for a DWI. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. You speak English. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
On March 22nd, 2024, officer responded to a traffic stop. Officer made contact with the deputy who stated that he conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle, failing to drive in a single lane, striking a curb, and stopping 3 to 4 car lanes from an intersection. The deputy initiated the lights. When deputy approached defendant, he noticed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage from defendant's breath, red bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. Defendant admitted to consuming 4 to 5 16-ounce light beers. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HGN, 5 out of 8 walk and turn, 3 out of 4 one leg stand. DIC 24 was read. Defendant declined a specimen and blood search warrant was executed. He does have a pending DWI from November 2023.
Mr. Huerta, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I am now taking your privilege to drive away from you permanently. You are not allowed to drive, and I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, you will have a contempt hearing. Every time you drive, it's an offense in and of itself. Do you understand, sir? I'm now also going to revoke your bond and putting you in jail on your first case. Guys, he goes with you. I will. I'll set it at 5,002 on the new one. I will not. But let's do this. So if he's not able to bond out in a couple days, we can talk. But at this point, I'm not ready to do that. Not when he's picking up another DWI. I'm sorry.
All right. All right, page 6, Spanish speaker. Catalan, Rivas.
Luis. Hi, Luis.
Buenos días. ¿Qué tal? Me llamo Luis, el intérprete, mucho gusto. Parece aquí en este cuadro. Solo mira el juez y le habla nada más en español. No me mira a mí, por favor. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
Jorge.
¿Jorge qué?
Jorge Catalán Rivas.
Catalan Rivas.
Catalan Rivas.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney appointed to you. If you cannot afford one, please do not say anything.
On March 23rd, 2024, officers were dispatched to Harris County, Texas, in reference to a minor accident. Defendant was the driver. Officer detected a mild odor of alcoholic beverage. Defendant had red, glossy eyes and poor balance as he exited the vehicle. Officer asked defendant what happened, and he stated he did not know and stated he consumed 2 alcoholic beverages. Officer met with complaining witness, who stated that they were traveling on the street and defendant pulled alongside him, attempting to pass on his left side, but instead, defendant hit the complaining witness, causing complaining witness's vehicle to flip over into an adjacent yard of a residence.
Flipped.
SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HGN, 5 out of 8 walk and turn, 1 out of 4 one leg stands. Officer played DIC 24 in Spanish and obtained 2 breath specimens. Results were 0.114 and 0.114.
Mr. Catalan Rivas, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Sí, señor, o no, señor.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
¿Es con permiso o sin permiso?
Sin permiso.
Without permission.
Do you know what happens if you go to jail?
No.
No.
If you go to jail
Una cárcel.
and immigration finds you, they will put a detainer on you. You will remain in custody until immigration is done with you, which is usually about 9 months to a year. Upon time, then they will deport you. That's what you have waiting for you if you go to jail. You understand?
¿Entendió, señor?
Yes,
Sí, señor,
yes,
no
sir.
sé en español, nada más le dije que habla español.
I am
O habla
ordering you
inglés.
as a
Pues
condition of
contesta en
bond
español. Como
not
condición de
consume
fianza, no consuma
alcohol,
alcohol.
illegal drugs, or
Ilegal.
unprescribed controlled medication. You do not have a license, so I'm also ordering you not to drive whatsoever.
Para nada, no.
I'm going to have you sign with me today a promise that you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. And I promise you, that kind of time, you will get an ICE detainer. This is the only warning that you're going to get from me. No alcohol, no dope, no driving.
No maneje. ¿Entendido?
You understand?
No,
Sí,
señor.
señor.
Yes, sir.
We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer.
Para darle tiempo para que contrate su abogado.
I'm first going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive.
Que no va a firmar.
After that, you'll get to Victoria. We're going to have you sign a reset. And after that, you'll get with Lacey for your bond conditions where you promise us you're not going to use alcohol or drugs. And then you'll be free to go.
Está libre para irse.
Please.
Case 12, Franco.
Do you have an arraignment?
I do, Judge.
Okay.
Which,
You can do that. Oh, sorry. I will have Spanish. That's right. You're right. I only have him for a limited amount of time.
Franco Vasquez. Come on up. Page 12. And then have a signature. De la Garza.
Después, sí, señor.
Oh, yeah.
You said Franco, right?
Yes. Case 12.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Luis Felipe. ¿Ya vio cómo es esto? Contesta en español, sí, señor, no, señor. ¿Traes un poquito más adelante?
It was a Christmas gift. I don't know where they got it from.
How many times have we revoked this dude's bond?
That can't be a good question. Oh, boy.
I show one, Your Honor.
Espinosa Marcel.
Take a seat for me in the jury box.
Un asiento ahí en la caja del jurado.
All right, Judge, the next Spanish speaker is page 13, Garcia. Carlos Daniel.
Carlos Garcia Amezcua.
¿Inglés? No. Ok. Me llamo Luis, el intérprete, mucho gusto. Solo mira el juez y le contesta en español nada más, por favor. He answered you yes, like when you asked him if he spoke English.
Mr. Garcia, you're charged with tampering with the government record. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On January 23rd, 2024, in Deer Park, Harris County, Texas, officer observed a silver Ford Focus with the Texas temporary tag, failed to signal a turn while making a left turn. Officer ran the temp tag and showed the registered vehicle to be a gray Chevrolet Malibu and to be expired as of May 28th.
That is Lewis, the GOAT translator. They all share him. He goes from courtroom to courtroom to courtroom to courtroom. And then there's the other Lewis, the big bouncer guy. He also goes to courtroom to courtroom to courtroom.
2023. Officer conducted a traffic stop and contacted the defendant who was driving the vehicle. Officer then ran the VIN through TCIC and CIC. which showed the vehicle to be a salvaged vehicle last registered to Progressive Insurance Company. Defendant stated he purchased the license plate from Facebook.
Y el acusado declaró que la placa la compró por Facebook.
Mr. Garcia, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
¿Qué habla? Sí, señor. Yes, sir.
His license, please. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Hombre. Sí, señor o no, señor? No, señor. No, sir.
Then you're not allowed to drive. I am making that a condition of your bond. You are not allowed to drive until you have insurance and you prove it to us that you have insurance. Understand?
¿Entendió? Sí, señor.
You can get with your lawyer, and when your lawyer, you can come back with us, and then you can get court approval to drive. Do not drive until you have court approval, sir.
Hi, Fozzie.
¿Tiene seguro? Sí, tengo seguro. El carro tenía seguro, pero no sé dónde está mi abogado. Okay, well, the car actually does have insurance, and I'm not sure where
The
my.
car is not insured. It's a person who is
Oh.
insured, not the car.
Fozzie, we didn't say a word about you. Nothing. It's all good.
Tenemos abogado.
It's a drogue. So for now,
It's a drug.
I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I will have you then sign a reset with Victoria, and then we will have you take a seat in the back while we wait for your lawyer to show up.
You just don't need to. There's nothing up there for you. You're fine. Just start from here.
Yeah.
Go Dimes, page 13.
Go Dimes.
Hey, hey.
No manejar un vehículo sin permiso. Yes, tomen asiento. Luis, el intérprete, mucho gusto.
Bill,
Solamente el
hi,
video.
Bill.
Are you Miss Godinez?
Bill.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're charged with prostitution. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer,
You sure
a lawyer will be
did.
appointed to represent you.
You
ma'am.
sure did figure it out.
Officers
Miren,
conducted a
oficiales
UC
conductaron
investigation
una
at a strip
investigación
club.
encubierta en un
Defendant
nocturno.
agreed to
La
perform oral
acusada
sex
acordó
on
hacer
officer
sexo oral
for a
sobre
fee
el
of
oficial
$300.
por un honorario de
$300.
$300.
Which, because which club is it? Because
Chicas Locas.
Chicas locas.
ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I do not want you to work at this place anymore.
Trabaja en este lugar ya más. No, I'm making plans to go to Miami.
Well, first, wait for this case.
Lidiar con este caso.
If you want, I can give you a
Si
lawyer
quiere, yo
today.
le puedo dar un abogado el día de hoy.
Like a lawyer,
¿Le
man.
gustaría que le nombremos un abogado para que le ayude? Tiene que hablar, sí, señor o no, señor.
Sí.
Yes.
I need you to fill out an application for me. Or wait, I have one already. I'm gonna have you go to Victoria. We're gonna have you sign a reset. After that, I'm gonna have you take your seat in the jury box while we find your lawyer.
Vamos a buscar su
Do
abogado.
not pick up any new cases. Do not get in any more trouble. Otherwise, I will put you in jail. I don't want to have to do that, man. Do you understand?
¿Entendió? Sí, señor o no. Yes. Hacia aquí a la izquierda.
So-
Judge, that one was to a point.
Yes, please.
The next Spanish speaker judge is page 30, Olivares.
I was speaking to Fozzie's wife, and we were talking because he has a whole bunch of withdrawals from the Mac machine for 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300. Now we know.
Okay, could you tell her to have to in the jury box, please?
Pavel, can you do no going to Chicas Locas? Are you Andre Olivares?
Andrés Olivares. Olivares, profesor.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain,
Quiet in the court, judge is having to raise his voice.
have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer, a lawyer will be appointed to represent you.
On March 22nd, 2024, officer observed defendant failing to maintain a single lane and almost causing an accident in Harris County, Texas. Officer conducted a traffic stop and observed defendant to have bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and an odor of alcoholic beverage. Defendant stated he consumed 2 alcoholic beverages. Officer viewed defendant to have an open container in the passenger seat less than half full. Officer also observed an empty can in the back seat. Defendant also had a cooler full of alcoholic beverages behind the driver's seat. Officer conducted SMSTs, 6 out of 6 HDN, 5 out of 8 walk and turn, and 1 out of 4 one-leg stand. Officer read DIC 24 in Spanish, and defendant consented to breath specimen 0.206 and 0.205.
Mr. Olivares, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
The fact that you have an open container in the car makes it a minimum of 5 days in jail to any sentence that you get. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. And because of your felony case, I'm going to test you a lot. And if I find that you're consuming any kind of dope, I don't care what it is, I'm going to lock you up and I will put you in a rehab facility. Minimum 9 months, depending on how well you respond to treatment. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
¿Qué edad tiene? 20. 20.
What do you do for a living?
¿A qué se dedican? ¿Qué trabajan? Instalando carpetas. Installing carpets.
With who?
¿Con quién? Para una compañía. For a company.
How much money do you make a month?
Una por mes. Aproximadamente. 3,000. Around 3,000.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Mr. Olivares, no more dope, no more alcohol. Otherwise, I'm going to keep you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you'll get released with your bond conditions, and then you'll be free to go. What? Do my eyes deceive me?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Oh,
I'm actually sitting in the clock for trial setting across the 201 Carolina. Thank you.
hey, Victoria, he has a trial setting at 10 o'clock, so I'm going to help him. Okay. Who's your guy?
Mohammed, Mouhama.
You mind calling him up?
Yeah, he's coming up, Judge.
Hi.
I'm good. All right, go ahead and
Thank you. Are you Jafar Mohammed?
Your Honor.
Mr. Mohammed, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you can afford one will be appointed to you.
On March 22nd, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officer was dispatched to a resident. Officer met with complaining witness and defendant are married. Complaining witness and defendant got into a verbal altercation. Defendant made multiple threats that he was going to punch complaining witness. Defendant pulled complaining witness's hair, causing pain. Complaining witness scratched defendant's arms to try and get away from him. Defendant who was holding complaining witness's hair, complaining witness into a nearby printer/chair, causing pain. Complaining witness told officer that there has been violence in the past and that she never reported it.
We know if she wants to have contact
requesting that
with him.
court accept not guilty pleas in this
Looking at
case
the red-
and have the matters at the trial.
This only lasts for a
He
second.
doesn't mind him being at.
So I accidentally had two other courts open at the same time. And I forgot because I was so into this guy, I forgot that they were open in other tabs. So they both start talking at one point and I mute them right away. So just ignore it.
Their home, she can just always go somewhere else.
Judge, may I interrupt?
Yeah, of course,
Thank you,
Mr. Cornell.
Judge. At the time, Your Honor, the complainant when it stated she did not want to press
Ramona.
charges, as also noted on the probable cause as well, Your Honor. She said she did not have any visible injuries. So
I mean, we have pulling hair. She said that it hurt, right?
she said, she also said that she was thrown into a printer and the only injuries were actually the scratches on my client's arm. Also, when the police arrived, my client was in bed. He was asleep. And so when officers arrived, nothing was occurring, but they found him asleep in his bedroom. And that's how my client awoke two police officers over him. She had told him that he's bipolar and has been diagnosed with depression, and he does take his medication. That's how he gets sleep. But it sent him into a panic attack when the officers arrived, and they were all over his bed. Also, Your Honor, they don't have any children. They don't have a whole lot in common. They've been married about a year and a half. He filed for a divorce in September, which is part of this. And so
y'all are currently going through a divorce then?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, and I represent him in the divorce as well, Your Honor. And so if it's the court's finding of no PC, and I leave that obviously within your jurisdiction, I would ask to find no PC. However, I would like to have communication, if available, in a non-threatening manner, so that we're able to do the divorce. I think
For sure. I mean, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause. So what I'm gonna order now is for you not to have any threatening or harassing contact with the complaining witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understand, Mr. Mohammed, that a protective order was issued in this case. So take that seriously. Be careful, because if you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and will file a violation of protective order against you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you said that she's okay with him going back?
Yes, this was conducted at 9 a.m. today, so.
Okay, so what I'll do is I will take off the residential restriction for you. Okay, but just be careful. You're already going through divorce proceedings, right? This is not a good thing. If it's a volatile relationship, you're the one that's going to be on the losing end of this. So if you have this kind of a relationship, I wouldn't even have any contact with her. Just go through Daniel. He can do everything for you. That's why you pay him, right? To help you out in this instance, because the last thing you need is a new charge. Because I'm telling you, I don't care what happens. If you pick up a new case, like you saw earlier, I'm going to put you in jail. I don't want to have to do that. So that's why be careful, because I don't know what type of relationship you have with this person. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
No threatening, no harassing, no weapons, and then that's it with us.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah?
I appreciate that.
Okay, guys. And then one more thing, Mr. Mohammed, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Daniel. He'll tell you if and when you have to come back to
Thank
court.
you very much, Your Honor.
Okay?
Should you wear the box, Your Honor, until?
Yeah, because we need him to sign no threatening, no harassing, and no weapons. And then I'll take care of that. I'll have them print it out. I'll take off the portion. We'll have you, before you go to the box, sign a reset, and then we'll have you go.
Did a few
Once we
minutes
have
ago.
you sign, you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you so much.
Green hoodie
Thank you, Your
guy.
Honor.
Counsel, do you have an arraignment?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the last name?
McBroom.
All right, Judge, page 23.
Okay.
Come on up.
Hey, good morning.
Francis?
Go with reverse mullet instead. So like shave all around here and then just leave it hang in the front. The ladies will love it.
All right. Alexis McBroom.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, ma'am.
On March 22nd, 2024, officers were patrolling in Harris County, Texas. Officer noticed defendant's vehicle to have expired license plate. Officer conducted a traffic stop. Officer came in contact with defendant and observed a strong odor of alcohol and red bloodshot watery eyes. An officer asked defendant if she had any drinks. She stated that she had one beverage. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HGN, 4 out of 8 walk and turn, 4 out of 4 one-leg stand. Officer read DIC 24. Defendant agreed to provide a sample of breath and blood. A GPC breath was taken. Results were 0.128 and 0.133.
Look to see if she has any prior DWIs, please. Ms. McBroom, do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Then you're not allowed to drive, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. You can drive once you get the license and show us that, or once you get the insurance and prove it to us, but until that point, no driving whatsoever. I am ordering you also as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or dope, you will go to jail. You understand? You have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time, but you must stay in touch with either Brian or anyone there. And then if they come back to me, tell me they can't get a hold of you, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. No alcohol, no drugs. Stay in contact with your lawyer. All right. I'm going to have you sign this affidavit. Then we'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. Then you'll get with Lacey for your bond conditions, and then you'll be free to go. All right. Thanks. Let me just get this real quick.
Hey, Victoria. See what we're doing today? We're showing the first stream where I had the judge. No, Fozzie, not the preview clip. That doesn't count. This is the first stream of you guys, and I don't think we get to see you at all. I saw Melissa. We saw Luis. We didn't see Steven. We didn't see Logan. And we hear you, but we still haven't seen you. I don't think we see you in this one. And I don't think we see Ramona either. Maybe I'm wrong. We still have a little bit left, but it's like nostalgia for us.
Judge, this one, Roger's approaching on page 13, Garcia.
Okay.
Garcia?
Approach.
Yeah.
He speaks Spanish, but you already heard PC and set bond conditions. This is one where I
Yes.
have an affidavit, but he does have a valid license and his vehicle has insurance as well.
But the insurance, I need it in his name. I don't care if the car has. I mean,
Provider covers third parties as well, Your Honor.
show me that it's in his name, because just because a car has insurance, I mean, an insurance company doesn't know his driving history. That it has to be in his name. Show it to me in his name, and then I'll let him drive.
Show
Okay.
me the car.
All right. That way.
All right, go ahead and sign for your reset.
Okay. Hey, guys. Coming up.
Is this an arraignment?
Yes,
Last name?
there should be Palomino and Rojas.
Are you still with integrity?
Civil rights judge.
Civil rights, right. Damn, that's a long time. I mean, 7 years?
No, so I was there for 3 years, Judge. I left, I was the chief over our commission integrity unit for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And I came, in individual.
Look at you, man. Great to see you. What's up?
You too, man.
Yeah, it's been way too long, huh?
Yeah, it has.
Racing?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, Judge.
What happened?
Do you want me to read PC on it or
Is
just
your
kind of
client,
give you
you mind bringing him up?
Crystal Rojas?
So, wait, it's not Palomino?
There's a co-defendant. I think they were racing together, Judge. Palomino's here.
Page 34.
But I'm only representing Rojas. Yeah, that's
Got it. Okay. So, tell me, what's going on?
probable cause on March 23, 2024, sheriff's officers were conducting plainclothes surveillance at a parking lot. It was like a takeover event with a bunch of vehicles, Judge. Officers observed a group of 4 cars leaving the location in a group, following each other. Vehicles traveled from Old Dumble Road onto the main lanes of Sam Houston Parkway in Harris County, and they were traveling west. Officers activated dash camera, continued following the vehicles. These are plainclothes officers, Judge. They observed a black Ford Mustang in lane 2, a black Chevy Camaro in lane 3. Both vehicles slowed down, lined up next to each other. They slowed down to about 50 miles per hour, and that caused the traffic on the Sam Houston Tollway to slow down as well.
Slow down to 50.
Slow down.
Right.
They lined up, and then both vehicles then in unison accelerated the speeds over 100 miles an hour, attempting to outdistance each other. Visuals maintained on both the vehicles, noting their license plates. Traffic stop was conducted. The driver of the black Camaro was identified as Christopher Rojas, and the driver of the black Mustang was identified as David Palomino, and they were arrested on the scene.
Okay, he's not a police officer or anything, is he?
Yes, Judge, or
That's why you're-
as far as I know, he was in uniform at the time. He's coming from an extra job, is my understanding from the incident, and has employment precinct 4.
Got it. Mr. Rojas, you have a Texas driver license, right? You have a Texas driver license, correct? I'm ordering you as a condition of your, well, I'm going to find probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to participate in any
Kelly was first.
of these types of cases. Otherwise, I will revoke your bond. I will put you in jail. Do you understand, sir? Anything else that you thought would be necessary?
I think that covers it PC-wise, Judge. You mean as far as bond conditions go?
I'm just doing no racing, reckless driving, street takeovers, donuts, anything like that. Otherwise, I will take your, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in jail. The next thing I will take your privilege to drive away from you permanently. I'm not going to do that now, but if it happens again, I will. You understand? And I can't imagine what that's going to do to your job as it is without the ability to drive.
I think that covers it in offense.
Okay. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to come back to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel and they will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. So just maintain contact with them. Don't pick up any new cases, okay? All right, guys, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Right this way.
So, Mr. Brock, I need him, after he signs the receipt, just to take a seat in the jury box while I get bond conditions. So please tell him not to leave until he signs the conditions, okay?
All right, Judge, page 12.
Would you-
Frank Christie.
Pavel, would you mind filing those? Thanks.
Frank Christie.
Yeah. She's back.
Mendoza. Nicholas. Page 24.
We're losing space in the box. So I guess after this one, let's, yeah, I've signed everything, I think.
Frank. That's fine. This is 24 Mendoza.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, Nicholas Mendoza.
What a coincidence, Casey. That's bowl cut number 19.
Mr. Mendoza, you're charged with unlawful carrying a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
March 21st, 2024, officers were conducting a task force investigation on street takeovers.
Oh, I guess you also charged with reckless driving? Yeah. So on that one, you're facing up to 30 days and or a $500 fine, sir. Okay.
Officer found the location of the street takeover from the organizer's social media post. Officer arrived to El Rancho in Harris County, Texas, and observed a street takeover with 80 to 90 vehicles. The vehicles were gathered in a pit formation when officer observed defendant doing 5 to 6 donuts in a pit of around 80 to 90 vehicles, getting within 20 to 25 feet of striking vehicles forming the pit. Defendant was seen revving the engine and spinning in a circle. Officer observed the defendant whipping around wildly, nearly striking people spectating, which is capable of causing seriously bodily injury or death. The act left large, dark tire marks on the concrete. The group caught on to the investigation and attempted to flee. Officer performed a traffic stop on defendant's vehicle, and while detaining defendant and doing a pat down, officer observed a tan handgun in the waistband of defendant.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure Kelly kept the ship floating.
Mr. Mendoza, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on both of your cases. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
I did.
You are not allowed to drive. And I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months every single time you drive. It's an offense in and of itself. Do you understand? How old are you?
She's been doing
What do you
math
do
the
for a
whole
living, sir?
stream.
At a
Math.
furniture company.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons. There's nothing a 17-year-old needs with a gun. Understand? No driving, no weapons. Otherwise, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, and I'm going to make your bond extremely high. Do you understand, Mr. Mendoza? Would you like me to appoint you a lawyer today?
Well, is there a time that I can get one?
Yeah, I can give you time if you want. So what we'll do now is I'm gonna have you go to Victoria. First, I'm gonna have you come up here, swear test that you're not gonna drive. After that, I'll get you to Victoria. We're gonna have you sign a reset, and then I'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go.
Yes, Toby, when Weld goes live, they post it on their website. So just Google it. And when they go live, it's there. You might have to refresh, but it'll be there.
We're gonna give you 30 days. Yeah, okay? All right.
Page
Well,
29.
hold on, let's get, I mean, it's,
Hold up. Page 29.
Morning, Tracy.
Morning, Kevin, how are you?
Good, thanks. Can you hear me? Can
I
you hear me all right?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good.
On a totally unrelated subject,
Cody Odom.
the parties in Clement agreed.
Mr. Odom, you're charged
He
with
won't off on me
harassment.
because we have all kinds
We're
of
going to do
data.
probable cause. You have the right to
Yeah.
remain silent. Anything you say
So
can
my
and will be used
expert
against you,
is
sir.
going to
You have the right to have an
produce
attorney present or
this week.
questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer, a lawyer will be appointed to represent you,
I
sir.
know you have.
On January 23rd, 2024, officers responded to Harris County, Texas, and met with complaining witness who stated defendant, whose complaining witness's ex-boyfriend had been sending her threatening text messages, claiming he was going to cause her harm. Complaining witness stated that she was also receiving threats through Snapchat, Facebook, and Text Now app. Complaining witness stated the defendant's screen name on Snapchat is Dirty Baby. Bay Baby. The complaining witness showed the officer a screenshot of a message she received from the defendant's screen name, which stated, quote, I'm strangling your bitch ass and kidnapping you, end quote. Complaining witness then showed a text message from the Text Now app that read, quote, think Matt was something, nah, I'ma actually kill you, you stupid hoe, end quote. And a second message that stated, I'll burn that trailer down, bitch. Complaining witness stated she knew the messages were coming from defendant because she received a call from the same number on the Text Now app, and she recognized the voice to be defendant's. Complaining witness stated she is in fear of her life and her children's life.
Mr. Odom, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
I still live with her. She hasn't pursued charges.
I don't care. I'm ordering you not to have any contact with this person, and I'm ordering you not to be in possession of weapons, and so much as I'm also going to grant what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Heather Michelle as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is a stalking statute. You know, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of 308 3rd Street in Highlands, Texas. Do you understand? If you violate this court order, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you.
Overruled.
Val, do you mind filing no contact and no weapons on Mr. Odom, please?
Sure.
Mr. Odom, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm gonna have you go to Victoria Center.
We missed you. Every time the stupid Olympics come on, I think, where was Charlotte? Where's Charlotte? Charlotte, I hope you're doing okay.
Reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond condition, sir.
Right this way. Page 31. Sir, Saleh. There is.
Mr. Owad, come on up. Ouwad.
If you can sign or sign your documents, and I'll give you a copy.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On March 24th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officer was dispatched to an assault in progress. Officer met with complaining witness. Complaining witness and defendant are married and have 5 children together. Defendant got into an argument. Defendant wrapped his arms around complaining witness like a bear hug, grabbed her phone from her hands pocket, and scratched her in the process, causing pain. Complaining witness asked defendant for her phone back. Defendant hit complaining witness in the face, open hand, causing pain. Complaining witness ran out of the house. While complaining witness was running, defendant began throwing solar garden lights at her. Officer noted that complaining witness's face and right forearm were red.
Okay, Mr. Owad, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do we know if she wants to have contact with you?
It looks like they haven't been able to reach the complaining witness yet.
Okay, I want to honor her wishes. If she wants to have contact with you, I will allow contact at this time. I don't know whether she wants to have contact with you, so I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? A protective order was issued on the 25th of this month, Mr. Owad. I suggest you get to know it. If you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order. That's one of the worst cases that you can pick up. Do you understand? So I see that you do have a lawyer. I don't know where they are, but this is something that we do with every single person. So for now, I will have you go to Victoria Center, reset. After that, I'm just going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then we'll just have you wait till your lawyer arrives. Okay? Please.
Right this
Jury box is full. Just sit on someone's lap.
way. All right, Judge, page 31, Palomino, David.
Mr. Palomino, I have already found that there's probable cause to go forward in your case. I found it with your other co-defendant. Do you have a Texas driver license? Do you mind running his license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Then you're not allowed to drive. And I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. Do you understand? If you drove here, you may not drive home, Mr. Palomino. Okay. How old are you, Mr. Palomino? What do you do for a living?
I work at a warehouse.
How much money do you make a month? Who do you live with? Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer? Or would you like to hire a lawyer? Okay, we will reset your case to give you time. If you need to come back, if you have any questions, you can always come back. For now, do not drive. Do you understand? I take this absolutely serious. If you don't, you will be doing a lot of jail time, sir. So I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. We'll get you to Victoria, where we're gonna have you sign a reset, and then you'll be free to go, sir.
You honor any bond conditions?
Yeah, no driving. But I'm having you sign an affidavit, so you're good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hi, Lori. Tell me, we gotta get people out, but no, tell me, what do you need? Do you want to start getting people to sign conditions? Let me see.
Waiting on you. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you can, okay, yeah.
Got it.
All right. Judge, I do have one I want to talk to you about.
Tell me.
It is Nathan Pleasant. He's charged with tampering with the government record and possession of marijuana in a drug-free zone, and he picked up a possession.
He's in jail?
Yeah, he's in jail. He picked up a felony. He was on bond on these cases. And I also wanted to introduce you to my stepdaughter who's here from Spain. She's in college in Spain. Yes, her name is Danya. She speaks Spanish and French. You want to come up?
Hi.
She's shy.
Have you taken her back?
Not yet, can I? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna end up revoking his bond though. I mean, I won't do the normal. I'll do, 25 each though.
Okay.
And then just keep me in the loop, huh?
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
How much?
2501 each. So unpleasant, 2501 each, please. Hey, will you remind me about BOs?
Yes.
I'm gonna start signing conditions when we get around.
Okay. I know you're busy, but there's a guy here for a status update. He was here about 2 weeks ago. He hadn't completed any classes. We gave him a 3-month extension.
How's he
And we
going?
told him to provide proof. Let me check.
What are you asking?
Mr. Rojas? If you can stand your pending your bond conditions. Yes.
I would love to know what his signature looks like on those pages he was scribbling on. Me too. I would love to know what his signature looks like.
Yeah, come on up. Okay. I had a feeling that he would bond out. It wouldn't be an issue. We're gonna keep doing. Yeah, every Monday and Thursday now. And then we're just gonna keep doing the way we were doing. So. No, so we'll do, I'm still gonna have him come every Monday, Thursday, and then 30 days from the past, when I took him in. If he tests positive from that time, he's gonna go back into custody. So I'm gonna give him 30 days from the prior date.
Wow, you were with him when he was an
Yep.
attorney?
Yep.
That must have been cool.
His life's gonna suck, but what do you want me to do? You know? I guess we can do one a week.
Oh, that would be
We'll do
awesome.
once a week then. Yeah. But, so I definitely want him tested.
Merci.
Come up, Mr. Diaz.
Thanks, CJ. Victoria, was Melissa with you guys too?
So let's see, Diaz. Four. The next time I have to revoke your bond, I'm going to immediately set your case for trial. If you can't straighten up and fly right, you're way too much drama for me. And I'm telling you, I don't care what offer you have on the table. The next time I have to revoke your bond because you start acting a fool, I'm going to set your case for trial. Do you understand? You will now test once a week with me. And the next time you test positive, 30 days from the last time I took you into custody, you will go to jail again, and I'm going to make your bond so high, you're going to flip. The only reason that's keeping you from jail now is Trinidad right here. Otherwise, your bond will be a lot higher than it is right now. That's only because of him. That's the only reason it's not higher than it is. Against my better judgment. So we took him into custody, what, 326? Is that right? So 426, you will come here to take another test, and you test positive on that day, I'm gonna light you up again. Do you understand me?
But you're gonna have him here every Monday until that day.
Because I still want him to do it. All right.
Judge, was that just Monday testing?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah. And then also on 426, we need him tested again because that'll be 30 days from the last time he tested positive.
Okay, Monday testing.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and make notes to it as well.
Yeah, what question we got here, yeah? We have pretrial services here, yeah.
Trial.
Okay, all right.
Is she gonna be on pretrial service?
Yeah, he's under supervision, correct. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. He's supposed to be getting a GED, right? Yes, with a curfew.
Testing every Monday?
Yeah, right. And then he will also test on 426. Yep.
Hi, Mary Beth. Hello. Kelly, if you need help with the math, Mary Beth got your back, not me.
She moved to DVD.
Are we done, Your Honor?
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna triple what I pay you
Yes,
now.
right this way.
Triple.
Yes, go ahead and sign for your recess, please.
Carefully. giving him what I pay you.
Hey, Jim. Yeah, hey.
State and I just want to visit with you on one Mr. Taylor, Danny Taylor, in custody, Judge. It's a VPO 1 here with the VPO 2 upstairs. I believe state wants to talk to felony, see if they can resolve everything. The next felony court date is 4/29. I believe it's gonna work out if they just have some time to.
I mean, it's not all, it's
4/30, the day after, Judge?
Yeah, okay, sure.
That means people left.
Judge, I also have one case on tomorrow's docket. It's Mr. Blanco. It's a DWI. I'm just gonna have to be in Fort Bend on a hearing, so I'm not sure. I mean, I can zoom in, or if you just want to let me
How
roll
old
it.
is it?
It's a 248. So
so-
it's getting, but I just may want to roll it a day or two. That's all.
Okay, I'm fine, for sure.
There's Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Thank you. You ready? Okay.
All right, Judge, page 39, Young, come on up.
You have a lawyer today, Mr. Young. What are you doing about that? What are you doing about that?
Still looking at the moment.
I'm ready to set your case for trial. Your case is 729 days old. In 2 weeks, you will get a trial set. If you don't have a lawyer, you're going to be doing it. Not only that, I'm now giving you 1 day to get an ankle monitor on your ankle to prove to me where you are at all times. And on your other ankle, I'm going to put a scram device. Do you understand? The next time you take off on me, I'm going to make your bond so high, you're going to flip. You know what? I don't even think that your bond is sufficient now. With as many times as you've taken off, who set that surety bond? Who set the surety bond at $500 on the gentleman, Young? Can you tell?
It was you, Judge.
Young, Elvin Young. One, two, three, 4, 5.
Test today?
Yeah. Yep. This is Young.
Young?
730 days old. He's taken off 5 times. The bond is at $500, and I think that's wholly insufficient. So I want to know who set that bond. If it was me, then I'll keep it. If it was anyone else, I'm going to revoke it. It was not me.
So we look at the docket agenda.
I see.
There was an interesting revocation to 1001. I'm looking at it right now. So I guess whoever gave them the surety bond messed it up and gave them 501 instead of 1001. So this matches true.
I'm gonna honor Mr. Young, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm so upset with you, I can't even see straight. You have 2 weeks. Do you understand me? 2 weeks. 1 day for an ankle monitor, a GPS on one. The other one is scram, please. Okay? You can waive the fee. One, both, please, simultaneously. Take a seat for me in the jury box, Mr. Young.
There was a magistrate judge.
Hmm?
So it was a magistrate judge, but it's not
Judge, that's 2 weeks THA?
Yeah, and clear trial. Hey, can you take a look on Young?
8:22 p.m. bedtime. Do you guys imagine? Raspberry, I can't imagine. Like, even even if I wasn't even if I wasn't working and I was home, if I tried to close my eyes at 8:22 p.m., no, I just can't imagine that happening. No, I just can't. Where are you at 8:22 p.m.? I wonder where you are. It could be Fozzie. Look, there's a little bear. All right, guys, listen, don't forget. We're done for today, but don't forget. Please, please, please go in the comments and wish HRH a happy, 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 happy birthday. Come on, it's a big deal. 65 is a big deal. I remember when I turned 65. That was a good day. Guys, thank you so much for coming out and walking down memory lane. I'm gonna try to create a playlist for that girl in Colorado because she's really good. She gave us so much entertainment. Yep. Fozzie, you don't look a day over 65. Guys, thanks for coming out. Listen, the judge's court opens in a few hours, so I'll be there and I'll show it again tomorrow morning. Thanks for coming out. I hope you enjoyed it and behave. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.